Hello students, let's read this question. Which equation of the line represents the relationship of the data in the table? Okay, so the important information here is that we need to find the equation of the line for the relationship of data in the table, just like that. And that is underlining important information. We're gonna just box it to keep it in mind when trying to figure the answer for this question. Great. Okay, so I have a table is given, and I need to pick which of this equation relates to this. Okay, the first step when we try to figure the equation of a line, so this is step number 1. We're gonna analyze our table and see how the numbers are changing on the x-axis and how the numbers are changing on the y-axis, which is the right side of the table. So that's what we're gonna analyze first. So we go from 0 to 2, to 2 to 4, the difference is 2. From 4 to 6, the difference is 2 again. From 6 to 8, the difference is 2. And from 8 to 10, the difference is also 2. And it's 2 positive, by the way, right? Okay, awesome. And I'm gonna say that I'm gonna highlight the left side in blue. Now, the right side, I'm gonna highlight it in orange, and I'm gonna analyze how those numbers are changing. So I'm gonna go from 5 to 11, and the difference is plus 6. From 11 to 17, same difference. From 17 to 23 is the same, plus 6. From 23 plus, how do I go to 29? By adding 6 again. And from 25 to 35, also plus 6. So all the way, always the plus 6 work. And on the left side, always the plus 2 work. And on the right side, always the plus 6 works. That is our very first step. Our next step is to change this into an equation. But before I do that, guys, to enhance my section of elaborate, I'm gonna bring a table to show you how my second step is my second step. There. So we're gonna have this coordinate plane is just the first quadrant of the coordinate plane. And we're gonna plot the data that we have here. Now, I said that we need to figure, the second step is to figure the slope of the line. Second step, find the m. The m is the slope, which is the rate of change also. Rate of change. And also another way to describe this value of m, guys, is by using this symbol that is called delta. Delta y over delta x, which only means x on the bottom. That only means how the numbers on the y-axis change over how the numbers change on the x-axis. And that way we're going to be using these values in the table. Now, two things are very important. What do you notice about the change on the y? It's a positive 6, right? And what do you notice on the change on the x-axis? It's a positive 2. So if we divide that positive by a positive, it's going to be positive. The sign is going to be positive. It means that we're going to get a line that goes from 0 up. You see this green dot on the coordinate plane? That's kind of how my line needs to look like. Positive from bottom to top. But if this value of delta y over delta x, which is the slope or rate of change, gets negative, then follow this orange rectangle. The line is gonna go down. That sign already tells me how it's gonna look like. Okay, so in this case, it says that this value is gonna be positive. So I'm gonna put it in green. And that's what I'm gonna be using green. Now I'm gonna be using, for this up and down axis, the values on the left side, which is the y. And for this side to side is gonna be my axis. And I'm gonna label this as x, and I'm gonna label this as y. Okay, so now because I know it's positive, I'm gonna use green. My first number is gonna be 0. And by the way, this is gonna be my 0. 1, this is my 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And on the other axis, I see the numbers are increasing by 6, and I get up to 35. So going by 5s is going to be good. So here I'm going to say this is 5, this is 10, this is going to be 15, 20, 30, 25, my bad. This is 30 and 35. So remember, this is a 25 here. 25. Okay, so let's do it. When x equals 0, y equals 5. So that means this is our first point. Our next point, when x equals 2, y equals 11. So this is 2, this is 10. 11 should be slightly on top of 10, maybe there. Next one, when x equals 4, you see x is on the blue. I go up and I need to stop at y17, which might be about here. Because this is 15, you see? So slightly more right there. Okay, next one, let's try the 6. When x equals c, where do I have to stop, guys? On 23, great. And if this is 20, 23 should be a little bit higher, maybe there. Great. Next one is when x equals 8, I need to go up and stop at 29. And this is my 30. So a little bit less than that, probably there. Great. And finally, when x equals 10, I need to stop at 35. That one came out to be exactly here. So really the points that were more precise was the first one and the last one. What I need to do next, I need to connect all those points. There. So now you see the line? Okay, you notice that the line is going up, right? Here it is increasing. When x keeps increasing, the values of y also went up. You see that, guys? Awesome. Well, I did this graph just to see how we're going to find the value of the slope. And to find the value of the slope, we said also simply what we're going to do is do substitution here. But also I want you to see it graphically. To find that change on the y-axis, something that we can do is say, okay, so I need to pick 2 points. So I'm going to pick, I'm going to pick the points that we can read perfectly. These 2 points. See, guys? I put a black star right there. Okay, and then we said we need to check the change on the y-axis. So to go from here to here, to go from 35 to 5, and put that in black, because to go from 35 to 5, what's the difference? In other words, what is the change on the y? Well, for this case, it will be negative 30 because I'm going down. You see? That's going to be negative 30. And I'm going to change the color. And I'm going to say that should be orange. I'm going to just highlight it in orange so you can see I'm tracing exactly this distance right here. Now I'm going to go in blue. So now to go from this value towards the left, so I'm going, if I'm going towards the left, I count those units as negatives. Okay, so now I'm going from 10 to 0, because that's where I have this black dot. So here, the change on the axis, and that's why we use a triangle, is 10 units. You see that, guys? Okay, so I'm going to go back to this relationship on the top. You see my highlighter in green? Okay, so right here, I'm going to plug in the values from this table here. And the delta y, we said it was a 6. And the delta x, we said it was a 2. Great. So please, guys, tell me what is 6 divided by 2. It's a 3. Great. So the value of the slope should be 3 by reading that change on the y-axis and the change on the x-axis from the table. But I wanted to show you how it looks like on a graph. So for this graph, we got this delta y over delta x, right? The delta y was from the orange, the delta x, we got it from the blue, right here. Now I'm going to plug in the numbers. So the delta y for this one, I got a negative 30 over, and we said negative 10. What is a negative divided by a negative? The answer is going to be positive. Okay, and what's 30 divided by 10? In other words, 10 times what gives me back the 30? 10 times 3 is 30. So 30 divided by 10 is going to be 3, positive 3. And you see how we get the same answer reading the table and reading the graph? Okay, well, just that's the reason why we check that change on the y on the table, the change on the x's, and if it's constant, we can do this rule. That was our step 2. Okay, I'm gonna just re-emphasize the steps. Step 1, find the change on the x-axis and the change on the y-axis. Easy. Step 2, do substitution to find the value of the slope m by dividing the change on the y over the change on the axis, and I'm highlighting right here. So we found the step 2. Step 3, and it's just 3 steps, guys, really easy. Step 3 is gonna be use the normal equation, the general equation of the line, which is y equal mx plus b. And in here, we're gonna do substitution. We already figured in green the value of the slope on step 2, remember? And now we're gonna figure the value of the b. And the v is nothing but, I'm going to put it here with this highlighter in pink. You see, this graph is not starting from the 0. From where do you see that it got started? From the 5. So this is the value of the b in this equation, not in the table, guys. Look for when x equals 0, which is the same thing we did here. And so what's the value of the y? Is in this case is a 5. So this is this value right here. Okay, so now let's just do the substitution. We keep the y. We bring down the equal. Instead of m, remember we found on step 2 the 3. We bring down that 3. When a number is in front of a letter, guys, it's gonna be multiplying. I bring down the plus, and the v we said is where the line crosses on the y-axis, where this green line crosses on this orange line. And where do they cross? On positive 5. So this 5 is from here and from here. You see, guys? And so that's our answer. Can you find the answer on the choices, guys? Yes, it is letter C. And that's it, guys, and we figured our answer, and you guys did a great job.